Hi everybody. I'm Silam and welcome to my first YouTube video. It sounds so funny, but yeah. So today, as you would have noticed in the title, we are going to react to AR Rahman's movie soundtrack for the movie called Roja. So this movie and the soundtrack was released in 1992 on this day. So it's been 28 years since the movie released. And the reason why I'm doing this is, first, AR Rahman is my most favorite music composer in the entire world. I love his music. Second, I'm also 28 years old, and this movie and the soundtrack is also 28 years old. So I think you get the connection there. But yeah, I'm very fond of the soundtrack, and I'd like to believe that everybody loves this movie's songs if they've heard of it. And yeah, so this movie's soundtrack changed Indian cinema. It was path-breaking. Like Miranda Priestley says, groundbreaking. So, without talking more nonsense, shall I start reacting to the songs? So the first song on the soundtrack is called Chinna Chinna Asai. It was sung by Minmini. So this song is about this girl who plays the titular character named Roja, and so she talks about all these small little wishes that she has. It's more of a fantasies of this girl, and the lyrics are so beautiful, and the lyricist won a national film award for his lyrics for the song. And it just has like a childlike enthusiasm written all over the song, and it's so beautiful. I should say that after I listen to the song, right? Anyway, let's listen. See, the prelude is so beautiful. It's so pure, and it just puts a smile on your face. You can see me grinning, right? So yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm having goosebumps. This particular line, "Vennilavu thottu muttamida asai," the girl says she wants to touch the moon and kiss it. I mean, okay, my translation is not as poignant as the actual line, but It's just so beautiful. Oh my god. Same girl. She said, "Sogangale ellam vittu vida asai." She wants to let go all of the sadness in her life. I mean, isn't that just a mood? Let's continue. Oh, okay. The second interlude is out of the world. Out of the world. When I first heard this song, the second interlude was like nothing I've heard before. It's that good, that fresh. Whew. So that humming, that vocalization, whatever you call it, that's AR Rahman's voice. He sounds very young in this song. And that's the end of the song. This song is so pure and beautiful. I know those are very basic words, but it just brings the kid in you alive, and it makes you want to give a hug to yourself, and if there's anybody else around you. So yeah, it just makes you happy, makes you present in the moment. So now we are moving on to the second song from soundtrack. It's called Rukumani Rukumani, sung by S.P. Balasubramaniam and K.S. Chitra. So this song, to give you a little bit of background about the song, it takes place on the wedding night of two couples, Roja and her husband, and her sister and the sister's husband. So it's about sex. Yeah, this song is about, it basically takes place when they enjoy their first night after getting married. So let's listen to the song. And Yeah, this is also the longest song on this soundtrack. Let's get into it. By the way, that's not K.S. Chitra's voice or S.P. Balasubramaniam's voice. It's an old lady singing the song. Yeah, so it's an old lady who's sadly not credited for singing this part of the song. You know, this kind of sound was never heard before in Indian cinema, and so you can see why it was so groundbreaking for its time. Even now it's one of the best movie soundtracks of all time for an Indian film. Fun fact: Time magazine listed this movie's soundtrack as top 10 soundtracks of all time, as one of the top 10 soundtracks of all time. So you get the greatness of this album. A.R. Rahman. It's so great because A.R. Rahman mixes the elements of Indian Tamil folk songs, and the level of orchestration that's never been heard before in a Indian movie soundtrack, like I told you before. So that's why it makes it so great, and this is the only song that is the most dancey type of song in the movie. Yep, this song is definitely about sex, and that's quite revolutionary for a Tamil movie soundtrack. I cannot. So that was quite an ending, wasn't it? This song is really, I feel like this is one of the most underrated songs by AR Rahman, because one thing I would like to add about this song and about many other songs of AR Rahman is that if you notice, he usually he usually gets singers with very unconventional voice. For example, there's a singer called recently in a film called Highway, he's hired two singers, the Nuran sisters, Jyoti Nuran and what's her name? What's the other sister's name? Jyoti Nuran and oh my god, okay, the Nuran sisters. And from that moment, from that song in that film, they became popular, and I, probably many others, have never heard of them before that song. So it shows AR Rahman is somebody who always goes for the unconventional. Right from the beginning of his career, because in that song you just heard, there was an old lady singing, and not many composers would do that, would open their song with an old lady singing in a very, very, very evident old lady voice, because the song is supposed to be about sex, and why would you open a song with an old lady's voice, a song about sex with an old lady's voice? So that's a very brilliant choice, I would say. So the third song from the soundtrack is called Kadal Rojave, sung by S.P. Balasubramaniam again. This is probably the saddest song in the soundtrack. Yeah. Let's listen. I forgot to add, the humming / vocalization is by Sujata. Sujata made her debut with this album. So he's basically singing about how nothing brings him joy anymore, and he wishes that he uses many metaphors, but he's saying that he wishes this world would just cease to exist because his wife and the love of his life is not with him at that moment. And in the movie he's going through a really, really, really terrible time when this song takes place. So yeah, basically he wishes she was with him, but she was not, and nothing brings him joy anymore. And I need to tell something about S.P. Balasubramaniam. He's like one of the greatest singers in India, and there's no emotion that he cannot emote through his voice. He can smile through his voice, he can cry without actually crying through his voice, and he expresses love through his voice and songs, through his singing, like nobody else could. So he's just one of the greatest of all time. And right now he's going through a bit of health crisis due to COVID-19, and I hope that he will recover soon. Let's hope for the best. So the next song that we are going to listen to from the soundtrack is called Pudu Vellai Mare. This is actually probably the most popular song from the soundtrack. Like, you can ask any Tamil person, they would tell you that they actually love this song. It's extremely popular, it's extremely gorgeous, and the music video is also stunning, just stunning. So let's start listening. Okay, so this particular music, like a glass is breaking, any Tamil person could easily identify this music. And so let me go back a bit. This song is sung by Unni Menon and Sujata. I forgot to mention that earlier. Let's get back to it. part of the song. It's probably not the most romantic song in the Tamil film music, but it's definitely one of the most romantic songs. It's definitely in the top 10 for me, because when I listen to the song, it immediately transports me to the snowy mountains in Kashmir and experience all these romantic adventures, and it makes me want to do that. It makes me just want to escape into a romantic getaway, if you will. Yeah, so that's this song is very affecting in a good way. And the last track from this soundtrack is called Tamira Tamira by Hariharan, and it's a very patriotic song. It takes place at the end of the movie and a bit in between as well. So unlike the other songs from this album, the lyrics for this song is actually taken from a poem written by a great Tamil poet called Subramania Bharati, Mahakavi Bharatiyar. Yeah, so it's basically a song about India and the patriotism of Indians. So let's listen to it. Doesn't that sound like a lullaby to you? Isn't it? Isn't it just so endearing? It starts off that way, but wait till you hear the full song. Did I tell you? Just wait till you hear the full song. It started off like so beautifully and so slowly, like a lullaby almost, and now it moved into a totally new direction, totally new territory and tone and everything. It, at the first time when you listen to it, it might feel a bit disjointed. Is that a right word? I hope so. Yeah, it might feel that way, but if you watch the movie and as you listen to the song, you would understand it better why AR Rahman did make the choices that he did with this song. Let me go back a bit, because that crescendo that the song hits, it's just Wow, otherworldly. This is the calm after a storm. Definitely. Again, here we go. Wow. Wow. I mean, a completely different song from the others on the soundtrack, and the way it was ended, wow, it just leaves you on a great high, doesn't it? Like, in between there was this high, this crescendo that the song hits, and then followed by Hariharan's beautiful soft vocals, and it again hit those high notes, that crescendo, and it ends there. Like, wow, man. AR Rahman. Oof. Apologies. Tamira Tamira is officially the last song, but there is another track left on this soundtrack. It's called Chinna Chinna Ase Bit. It's basically a snippet from the full song, and I don't remember listening to this one before. I probably have, but I don't have a memory of it, so let's just listen to it. Oh, oh, okay, okay, I get it now. It probably takes place, so it probably takes place when Roja is getting married. So that's officially the end of our reaction to Roja soundtrack by AR Rahman, which was released in 1992 on this very date, 15th August. So India celebrates its 73rd Independence Day today, and this movie was released in 1992 on the Independence Day because it has a connection with the nation's with the Kashmir crisis. Yeah, and the film even won National Film Award for Best Film on National Integration, apart from obviously for AR Rahman for Best Film Music. He was, at that time, he was the youngest person to win the award. He was just 25 years old. And it also won Best Lyrics for the lyricist of the song Chinna Chinna Ase. I hope you liked my reaction, or at least liked the songs from this video enough to check them out yourself. I'll link the Spotify link and YouTube links in the description below. So I had fun. I definitely had fun reacting and listening to this amazing soundtrack once again. And AR Rahman is the GOAT. Yeah. So I had a fun time reacting to it, and I hope you guys did too. So let me know in the comment if you liked it, and or even if you don't, if you didn't like it, just let me know. Let me know what I can work on and what would you like to see more of, and if you have any suggestion what I should do for my next video, assuming that there will be another one. Let me know what do you want to see. So don't forget to like, share if you can, if you would like to, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing off. Bye.